All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Akakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone, who taught me this truth, all right, and who teach the 100% truth, because we got to start putting that out there, especially since the chip, the mark of the beast, is around the corner. And I want to give a sincere shalom to the elect out there teaching his truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Okay? This is an economy update to the Spirit and Power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. There's been a lot of things going on the past couple weeks as far as the economy is concerned. You know, a lot of these banks are hinting at a digital transition, okay, which we know will lead to the mark of the beast. Okay, whether they choose to force the chip right away or do the chip in steps where they, introduce digital wallets, then that turns into the chip, remains to be seen. Okay. But it's looking like this devil's starting to really force his hand, man. As far as his New World Order is concerned, you had the Pope out there the other day calling for a New World Order led by the United Nations. Okay, but let's focus on what's going on here in America right now. Okay? The American economy has had with this coronavirus lockdowns and all that, the American economy has really taken a big hit. There's still some strong areas, but, it's designed that way, man. This is a K-shaped recovery that is designed to be that way, where the mega corporations and the super rich are making a whole ton of money right now. And the regular people are struggling, okay? And there's been talks about this coronavirus stimulus since August. Okay, this has been going on for a couple months now, and there's still no deal. There's still no deal. One side is saying that there's too much other shit that in this coronavirus stimulus bill that doesn't include, that has nothing to do with the stimulus, and is mainly a power grab. Okay, and then there's the one group that's just not budging at all unless they get those extra goodies, man. But now it's at the point where the rich, okay, are saying, and this is not the first company that's done it. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon to Congress get a stimulus deal done, okay? Even these mega corporations are starting to say, hey, the so-called holiday shopping season is starting. You guys need to get a deal done, man. Or this economy is going to spiral out of control. Okay? In the scriptures say, in Ecclesiastes 12:1, and the points in the 3rd verse, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Well, the evil days come not. And we look at November 3rd and 4th, right? And 5th, so on and so forth, is less than a month away. Okay, it's less than a month away. You've got both groups. No matter whether these people support Trump or whether they support the Biden or the Democrats or Black Lives Matter or the Proud Boys or whatever the hell it is. Okay? Both sides are promising that hey, there might be some serious violence if they don't get their way. Okay? Which could usher in what? Martial law if it gets too out of hand. Okay? But back to the economy. All right? The evil days are upon us, man. Starting January 1st. A lot of people are going to start getting evicted, man. And you had, what was it, a couple days ago, you had, Wolf Blitzer attacked that Nancy Pelosi chick. All right, which, I'm not trying to say much about her, but there's a lot of documentation out there that proves that she's a hardcore Satanist, man. Hardcore. You brothers can look into that, man. She's a straight up Rothschild puppet, okay? And I'm not saying that Wolf Blitzer's innocent, because a lot of evidence shows that he's worked for the CIA in the past, And but even he was saying he went against the grain and was like, man, I see these people, they can't even afford to eat, and they're becoming homeless, or they can't pay their bills, and he was attacking this chick, man. Like, he was basically saying enough is enough. Because we know that these devils, they want controlled chaos, okay? They don't want things to get out of hand to where they can't control things. Okay? They want the people to go along with their plans. They're making this economy bad so that they can bait them into the chip. All right? Continuing on. Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And there's no pleasure in this society no more. The people were begging a few months ago for the sports and entertainment to come back, but now that they're struggling to pay their bills, they don't give a shit about the entertainment. Okay, and they're starting to politicize all this stuff, and it's just, man, it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. That's just how it is. Okay. Well, the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And this is the keepers of the house trembling. Okay? I mean, why don't they just come out and say it? Hey, if you guys do another stimulus, we're going to reap the profits. You need to help us, because we're the rich, and the house of cards is falling. Okay? They like the order goes, order ab chaos, okay? They need some kind of order to the chaos, controlled chaos. When you pay attention to how these riots are orchestrated, they're in select cities, and the mayors and the governors are so-called refusing help. President Trump said that he was going to send in help and squash the riots, okay? But those cities were chosen to be like that, man, to let them go to shit. Everything is an experiment with these devils, man. Okay? That's why, that you look at their symbolism, the all-seeing eye, or the eye of providence. Okay? The eye of Horus, okay? They want to know everything, man. Okay? They want to know everything. Because when the more knowledge they gain, the more that they could use it to play God here on earth. But they're not God. Okay? Let me just read these captions here. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon called on Congress to work together and pass a stimulus deal to help American families and small businesses. For both sides, I think what they need to keep in mind is that there are Americans that need them. They don't really care about politics, aren't really tied up in this election, and they just need some help. Okay? And what this has done is, this has broken a social contract between the government and the people. Because you go back in history with the New Deal, when Social Security was made and unemployment and all that, there was a social contract with the government and the people to say, you know what? If this ever happens again, we're going to at least make sure that you can feed your families and pay your bills. Okay? But as we see, American systems are very antiquated, and a lot of other nations seem to have an easier time with making sure that their people are okay. Okay? They're giving them checks every month or every 2 months, or, their unemployment is set to where it's about 90% of what they were making, 85%. Okay, and to make sure that things are moving smoothly. But here in America, it's looking like it's about to fall apart because they don't offer those same measures. Okay, The unemployment that they offer is a fucking joke. Okay? It's a fucking joke. You know? He said the retailer has seen American families face very different financial circumstances, with some redecorating their homes and others struggling without a paycheck. Okay? Now, back with the back and forth tit for tat, okay? This says Mnuchin says he'll give ground in stimulus talks, while Trump says he would raise his offer. Okay? I want to go to the bullet point number 2. Later, President Trump said he would raise his offer for a stimulus package above his current level of $1.8 trillion. I believe it started at $1 trillion, then it went to 1.2, then it went to 1.6, and now it's 1.8. Okay, but it's not about the money. Okay, it's not about the money. It's what's in the bill, man. They got some sneaky ass shit in this 2,000 plus page bill. Okay. House Democrats have passed a $2.2 trillion bill. And then you look at what's going on with this Supreme Court nomination, and a lot of people think it's smoke and mirrors, but it's really not. Okay? It's really not, because if this nomination goes through, and it's looking like it will, all right, and Trump gets reelected, guess what? He has a 7-2 advantage of the courts. And in a time of emergency, he can enact all kinds of emergency powers, and he'll have the courts on his side, as well as the Senate, depending on how the election goes. Okay? So he could pretty much make himself a dictator, man. And when you read history, this is what, these are things that guys like Julius Caesar and Adolf Hitler did, man. You know? They stacked their support, you know, and they used the crisis that people were under, you know, to get on their side and say, hey, I'm going to help you out. Just let me do what I want. Okay, and the people will go along with it as long as their conditions improve. You know? But, you know, hey, it's getting dicey out here, man. It's getting dicey out here, man. You know? We could see the country burn down in November, man. And we're not talking about nuclear missiles yet. Okay? Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Okay, the unemployment is starting to spike again. You know? The labor markets are starting to dry up. Because really, there's a lot of places that aren't even open. A lot of places have permanently closed. You know? There's no money flowing around. There's a lot of lost wages that aren't being replaced. Okay? And that could create deflation, and then you have a weaker dollar, which increases prices at the same time. So you have less money going around, and then you have an increase in prices. Okay? And then we're not even gonna get into the debt. You know, we're not even gonna get into that. That's a whole other topic, man. You know? And the strong men, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And the grinders are out there struggling to make ends meet. And those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Okay? The grinding is low. The streets are empty. The The businesses are permanently shut down, man. They're boarded up. Okay, there's all these empty buildings everywhere. America's looking like a big-ass slum, and it's not just here. But this scripture is primarily talking about here, okay, in Babylon. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that joyous feeling of America that was here is no longer here. It's not coming back. Okay, it's not coming back. All right. This is Proverbs 10 and 15. Getting back into the Walmart CEO article, okay? The rich are starting to cry because they see, they see, hey, we gotta adjust for this. You gotta at least keep things going for a little while longer. We'll put our chess pieces in place, okay? This is just a big chess game. Big chess game to balance everything out, man. They're restructuring everything for their new world order. Proverbs 10 and 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Right, because they've got people dependent on these Walmarts and these Amazons and so on and so forth. And if people can't afford to pay for anything, then guess what? That strong city gets breached. Okay, these elites need the slaves to keep them going. If you think about it, man. You know, even though they have heaped up treasure for the last days. Okay, they need the people to go along with their plans, and when they don't, they're going to force it. Okay. You know, if you got a lot of people that willingly take the chip, it's a lot easier to enforce to those that don't. Okay, comply with their new world order. Speaking of, this is James, the 5th chapter. All right, James 5 and 1 through 6. I don't know if I'm going to read down to 6, but I'm going to read the first few verses. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for the miseries that shall come upon you. Okay? Think about if there's a massive stock market crash and the rich don't get out fast enough. All right? Think about if there's internal resistance to their New World Order. Like when they go to lock these places down and the troops are just saying, you know what? We've had enough of this shit, man. You guys are the problem, not the people. Okay, but that's what this Maxine is for, man. You know, because it's been proven that it makes you cold-hearted, man, towards other people because it shuts off certain genes that give you basic human empathy. Okay? But weep and howl, man, because the Most High is about to bring this stronghold down. Okay? They might try and control the collapse, but the Most High can do what he wants with it. You know? He could have all the people go crazy one day and destroy their 5G infrastructure that they work so hard to build. You know? And there's a lot of truth out there exposing these devils, man. That's why they're doing all these measures to control the internet. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Okay? And the riches are corrupted, man. You know, who knows what the real so-called price of gold and silver is? Because that's real money. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire, because you've gotten all this gold and silver and money through wickedness, okay? You didn't earn it. And the Most High is about to rebalance everything and leave you top devils with nothing except chains around you. You have heaped treasure together for the last days, okay? And they're starting to use that. That's why what was it? Over 85% of the wealth is owned by a few families. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is mainly what the Israelites, which is of you kept back by fraud. Okay, meaning that what they're sitting, they have the public support by saying that what they're the Jews, but they're not the real Jews. Crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Okay, and the Lord is about to tear this place apart, man, and bring down this whole system. Okay, and the Lord is going to rain upon this devil when they're eating, when they're forcing this chip. Now I got one more quick headline here. This is job losses hit Gen Z harder during the pandemic than older generations, and there's a reason for this, man. There's a reason for this, because Gen Z, notice how I call them Gen Z, is the generation that they're focused on to get this to get this chip, because like they always say, they only need one generation to go along with their plans, man. This Gen Z, they were raised up by this technology, okay? They're not sociable. The boys don't have the testosterone levels. They don't, they're emasculated. Okay, the women rule over them. They really don't have a fighting spirit, man. And they just go with the flow, okay? And that's made them lazy. It's made them dependent upon technology. Any brother that works with these Gen Zers, all right, or has, they know how they are, man. They're the laziest generation that's ever walked the face of the planet. And they whine and they cry. Okay? So if I'm a business owner and times are rough and I need to make cuts, I'm not going to pay some punk-ass disrespectful kid who wants to be on his phone every 10 minutes and doesn't get no work done. Okay? Really, what this so-called collapse has proven is that a lot of you people aren't even required at your jobs, man. A lot of y'all are just warm bodies. They're lazy and they want everything, man. But, you really can't. I mean, yeah, you can blame them, but you can't blame them. Because they were really programmed and targeted for that. To think like that. Okay? They got the entitlement complex, man. Like I said, if I'm a boss and I need to make some cuts, I'm not going to pay some whiny 22, 23, 24-year-old, or maybe even younger, okay, to sit there and act like he has some kind of rights to be on his phone every 15 minutes. Or to whine or to talk back. And to work as slow as possible and not do a good job, half-ass everything. That's what separates the youth of today from, the older generations. Okay? These bosses, they want people that are productive, man. That can get shit done. Because their payroll is limited. Everybody's got more expenses now, okay? They got more expenses now. They got to sanitize the shit out of everything all the time now. If they got to work from home, they got to set up all them networks and infrastructures and maintain them. All kinds of things, man. All their employees got to have masks supplied by their employers now. That costs money, man. It costs money in a time when money's not really coming in. Okay? So this is the generation that's getting targeted for the chip. Psalm 10 and 2. And I'm going to wrap it up. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Okay? Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Because the Most High is using all this technology against them because the information is getting out there. You know? It's kind of like the Most High used this internet to enslave the people's minds, but also to liberate their minds, okay? Because this is how the truth is getting out. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts, because he thinks of himself as being God. Okay? Now I want to jump down to the 8th verse, Psalm 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor, and he's trying to make everybody poor. He's trying to eliminate so-called middle class. Okay? Rewind back to the feudal times. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Okay, and that net is the money system, okay? Nobody lives off the land no more. You know, he's got everybody into this society in that. So when he takes it away, it's easier to draw them into the net, and that net will lead to the chip, the mark of the beast. Okay, well, what's the main thing that, what's the main focus of the mark of the beast in Scripture? Buying and selling. Okay? That's why he's got these people struggling to pay their bills, to feed themselves. Revelation 13 and 16, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know that that word mark means charagma, which means a stamp or incision. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And that number means what? A stigma. Okay, we know the stigma of this devil, man. The main point is the buying and selling. That's how he's going to get them, man. Drawing them into his net. Okay? Make it harder and harder to partake in commerce. Make it so that there's no money to go around. Make it so that the value of money is pretty much losing almost all of its value. And creating a digital system. Okay? But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified and informed. You know, keep praying up for faith to make it through these times. You know, till next time, shalom. Peace and blessings to the elect.